All right, so what we have here is a graph of a function. And if I look at this graph, I can see it's not a straight line. It's a curved arc here. And that signals to me that this is an exponential function. And in fact, it's exponential decay because it's decreasing. If I had the same sort of arc going up, that would be exponential growth. So here I've written down for you what the standard form of an exponential function is. F of x equals a times b to the x power. A represents the y-intercept of the function. So that's that point right there. So I already know what A is. A is equal to 0.2. Let me just go ahead and write that down. So A equals 0.2. And then B is the ratio of the y values. So I'm going to need to look at these points and look at the y values in particular and find what that common ratio is. Now, before we do that, let's take a look real quick at our answers and notice that these are not in this standard form. The standard form doesn't have any parentheses and doesn't have any subtraction. So what we need to do is simplify these by doing what's in the parentheses. So we're going to do 1 minus 0.1 and get 0.9, and then we're going to do 1 minus 0.5 and get 0.05, and so on. And we're going to rewrite these so that they're in that standard exponential function form. So let's just do that real quick. And so I'm going to rewrite this as f of x equals 0.2. And then I'm going to subtract that and I get 0.9 to the x power. Now, don't worry about the fact that I used parentheses instead of a dot. That's okay. A dot shows multiplication, parentheses do too. I could just put a dot there, but I'd rather put the parentheses. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to rewrite this one, f of x equals 0.2. 1 minus 0.5 gives me 0.5 to the x power. And f of x equals 0.1. So if they give you something and it's not in the standard form, go ahead and rewrite the answers in the standard form. And then 1 minus 0.05 gives me 0.95 to the x power. And then the last one, I have f of x equals 0.1 times 0.75 to the x power. Okay, so back to the initial function here. So we already figured out that a is equal to 0.2. So I know my answer is a or b. Now I just got to figure out what this ratio of the y values is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little table here of xy ordered pairs, and I'm just going to go back to the graph and I'm going to read these points off. So I'm going to take each of these points and write the xy coordinates of each point here so that we can figure out what that ratio is of the y values. All right. So the first point is x is 0 and y is 0.2. That was our a value. And then I have 1 and 0.5 and then 2 and 0. I did that wrong. Sorry. It's not 0.5 there. It's 0.1. My fault. Yes, I make mistakes. And then the 2 is 0.5, 0.05. I'm having trouble. And then the 3 is, and really I don't need all of these points. I just need a couple of them just to figure out what that ratio is. And so this is 0.025. My handwriting is getting worse. And so now I'm going to look at what this common ratio is. So I'm going to take 0.1 divided by 0.2, and that gives me 0.5. And then just to double check it's consistent, I'll look at the next one. So I have 0.5 over 0.1. And that one is also equal to 0.5. And if you check the last one, it would also be equal to 0.5. So our B value, this is our B value, is 0.5. And so my equation, my answer is going to be B. So there you go. So you got to find the y-intercept and then the ratio of the y values and put it in the standard form. So keep it up. This is a pretty tough problem. This is one that my students struggle with. But if you keep working hard, you will master